after 7 infants were killed in a fire at the newborn baby care hospital in Vivek Vihar in East Delhi. The owner of the hospital, Dr. Naveen Kichi, has now been arrested by the Delhi police. He was absconding since last night when the blaze erupted. He has been accused of not having fire safety checks in his hospital where 7 infants were killed. Now, Dr. Naveen Kichi also owns several other baby care centers in the national capital. The police is mulling imposition of Section 304, culpable homicide not amounting to murder in this case. That is the piece of breaking news that's coming in. Those visuals on the left side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, are from Vivek Vihar in East Delhi from last night when this deadly blaze erupted at this children's hospital where 7 infants lost their lives, ladies and gentlemen. To get more details on this big breakthrough coming in, because remember, this doctor, the owner of this hospital, was absconding since last night, and my colleague Yash gets us more details in this big breakthrough where the Delhi police have arrested Dr. Naveen Kichi. Yash, over to you.
Well, after a long manhunt, in fact, he has been arrested from the national capital itself. Since this incident broke out, we were learning that he was at large, and the moment police get the information that Dr. Naveen Kichi is behind this very space where this very incident happened, all the efforts were made by the police to actually nab him. There was certain information floating also that he might be in Rajasthan, but that turned out to be false. In fact, he has been arrested from the national capital. Since early in the morning, we've been reporting that sections like 336, 304 and section 34 have been invoked in this very matter, and now the thorough investigation will be done. The first and the most important thing is that this very childcare hospital didn't have any NOC when it comes to the fire safety norms. So that becomes a bone of contention, exactly how this man was actually operating this very facility if he didn't have the requisite norms and in fact requisite permissions to function. And other than that, one other very allegation which is coming in from the local residents and people who are staying near that very hospital is that from the ground floor he was actually running a illegal business of filling gases, which actually led to this very incident happening at the very first place, because we have to understand that the very first flame was erupted due to the blast which happened in a cylinder, and after that the series of blasts continued to happen, and in fact that very incident took 7 lives, and in fact the 5 lives are still in the hospital. They are being treated, and in fact what we are understanding that they have received certain injuries, but their condition is said to be stable. But the biggest breakthrough for Delhi police right now is arresting Dr. Naveen in this very matter.
Right, so that's a big development coming in when it comes to this investigation, where it seems that Dr. Naveen Kichi, the owner of this hospital where 7 infants have lost their lives, he was running an illegal gas filling business in the ground floor of that entire building, which has led to that massive blast and that blaze on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, where 7 newborns lost their lives. And now the police is mulling imposing Section 304, culpable homicide not amounting to murder in this case. I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh to get the latest in the investigation. Anshul, could we also see his medical license being revoked in the wake of this tragedy?
Well, definitely, that is something that is on the cards. The Delhi police is investigating the case. Remember, the person who is accused, that is Dr. Naveen Kichi, actually doesn't own, actually is not only the owner of this baby daycare center, but he also owns several other baby daycare centers as well. So the Delhi police is looking into if at all the other baby daycare centers also are being functioned in the same manner where the requisite NOC and norms are not being fulfilled. Now, finally, as he has been arrested, as we speak, he has been interrogated by the Delhi police. At this point, it remains to be seen eventually what other sections can the Delhi police impose against him, because the investigation has just started. But definitely the manner in which this baby daycare center was running without the requisite permissions actually tell of a massive corruption that was also happening in this entire area. Dr. Naveen Kichi also has several other baby daycare centers in the national capital as well. It remains to be seen what will eventually happen to them, but definitely, as you rightly said, cancelling his license and cancelling the license of his other baby daycare centers is also something that the Delhi police is working on, and eventually it would be presented in front of the court itself.
Absolutely. A strict audit of all of his centers is the need of the hour at the end of the day, Anshul. And because this is a very gruesome case coming in from the national capital, 7 newborns have lost their lives. And as my colleague Yash was just pointing out, he was running an illegal gas filling business in the ground floor of that entire building. And that's what led to that initial blast. He didn't even have fire safety checks in this building of his, where 7 newborns have lost their lives, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the visuals on your screen. It took hours for the fire department to battle this blaze, but they saved a lot of children, but 7 could not be saved. And Yash, this has become that point of contention once again between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party in the national capital. The BJP saying that this just exposes the fact that under the Aam Aadmi Party, corruption has trickled into every department in the national capital, and the result is that 7 newborns have lost their lives.
Well, absolutely. But the more important thing is that these kinds of issues are actually beyond politics, because the 7 infants who lost their life, they didn't know what politically is happening and what is happening. They were just there for the treatment. And in fact, their families were also saying the same thing. Politicians are actually saying, both the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, both are up in arms. First, the allegation came in from the Aam Aadmi Party's Saurabh Bhardwaj, where he alleged that after this incident happened, he actually tried contacting the Secretary of Health here in the national capital, but he didn't receive any responses from them. And on the other hand, the Bharatiya Janata Party is continuously attacking the Aam Aadmi Party for not following the proper checks and balances, because this is not the only fire which has been reported in the national capital in the last few days, but today itself 2 fires were reported, one from Vivek Vihar and another one from Krishnanagar. And in Krishnanagar fire also 3 people had lost their life. So that is why the BJP is going all out, and in fact they are saying that how corruption is actually seeded in the system, that even hospitals are not in the ambit of these checks and balances, where it is the must to have the basic requisite documentation and certifications like the NOC when it comes to the fire incidents.
Right. Thank you, Yash, for getting us the latest when it comes to this entire news that's coming in from the national capital.